Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is mTw versus Navi, the grand finals for the Premier League Masters. And well, after a lot of discussion and debate, the decision was made that we will actually have to replay Game 2. In order for Valve to have any chance at recovering a saved game, they would need about 3 hours. And although mTw had a very significant lead, it was the admin's decision that it was not enough to award mTw a win based off of that lead. It was a close call either way, but as a result, mTw is up 2-0. Navi on the Dire, mTw on the Radiant. If mTw win this game, they have taken the series, swept Navi out of it, and you could even make the argument that they would really have won 4 games, or 3 games, and plus the 1 for coming for the winner's bracket. So that argument can be made if they win this game. I gotta say, it's one of the most convincing performances against Navi we've seen in a while, and maybe mTw could be considered their kryptonite even then. So, enough theory crafting, enough talking about what we might see, what might happen. Let's talk about what we are seeing. And of course, I am LD of dotacommentaries.com, if you're not familiar with me. But on mTw side, a Chen, a Leshrac, and a Darkseer. Navi gets some great heroes of their own, though. The Invoker, that'll be played by Dendi, of course. The Prophet as well. We saw Puppey as the one playing the Prophet previously, but we'll have to see who actually handles it. Could be Light-of-Heaven if it's in that off lane. Whoever they want to run it with. I mean, these are the heroes that we see Navi had success with. The Invoker, the Prophet. Previously, we've seen the Tinker and the Lone Druid being very effective, but those heroes are just permanently banned this series. Nobody's going to get their hands on them.
Reserve time.
So, Shadow Demon is available. Maybe Navi will look towards that. Can set up the Invoker Sunstrikes quite well. No, it's an Enigma. So Navi gets some big team fight here. You have the Invoker as well as the Enigma to provide that. The Prophet, the Enigma for the split push potential. And really, you can't underestimate the pushing power of an Invoker either. We've seen Dendi really seems to favor that double Forward Spirit build. Sometimes he'll max Exhort and just go for the big burst damage, the Meteor. The Deafening Blast. That seems like more of his style, but occasionally he has gone for the double Forward Spirit. And if he wants to go that route in any game, I think this is the game to do it. You already have a lot of summons, you already have a lot of push. Get a little bit more, really amp things up. Enchantress makes it through that first round, gets banned out in the second stage. And for mTw, the question is, where do they go? Do they go for a hard carry? Do they go for more of that mid-game lineup that they've had some success with?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't feel like they need the hard carry here, but I would like to see some sort of semi-carry. And then the question becomes, which semi-carry would it be? A notable one that's still in the pool is the Chaos Knight. That's something that we've seen both of these teams run on occasion. I wouldn't say they really favor it, but it's there as an option. Panda. That's another big one. Panda is in the pool. Navi have used it to great success. Or if not even to great success, they've used it a lot. And when you have an Enigma already, that's got to be a consideration. Do you want to pick up a Panda just to protect that Enigma? Well, mTw go for it if they want it. There you go. It's a Panda, and the Chaos Knight, the immediate reply. Navi have their triple semi-carries online now. The Chaos Knight, the Invoker, as well as the Prophet. Whereas for mTw, big team fight. Panda, Darkseer, and some great AoE with the Leshrac as well. And don't forget about Chen. He is a very potent team fighter in his own right, with that global heal, the ability to send teammates back, and eventually the mechanism as well. So it's team fight versus some team fight as well. I mean, both teams are very balanced. There's not a team that is a clear slant. It's not like one team is all AoE. It's not like one team is all late game or early game. Both of these teams very versatile, strong at all stages of the game. I would say Navi do have the edge in the late game.
Reserve time.
If it goes late enough. But again, that really depends on items. It depends on map control. In a vacuum, though, I would give Navi the edge, but this game is not played in a vacuum. It is played in the real world, so anything is possible from mTw, but they're focused on the early game. Leshrac, Panda, Shadow Demon, big burst damage combination coming out here. How are they going to lane this one? Well, we could see either the Panda or the Leshrac mid, and I'm guessing it will be the Leshrac, but either is possible. Darkseer that off lane, most likely headed top. And then either the Leshrac or the Panda, whichever one it is, will be dual laning with the Shadow Demon bottom. Most likely a defensive jungle Chen. For Navi, could be either the Enigma or the Prophet in the off lane. The other one will most likely be jungling. Ancient Apparition CK probably going to be dual laning mid, and then that safe lane I expect will be the Invoker. Could be a solo mid invoker and a dual lane up in the safe lane with the Chaos Knight A, but that's pretty much your laning pairs, sort of how these players are going to organize their lanes and look to combo together. I just realized Luminous's name is still in the stream, but guys, in fact, unfortunately, Luminous did have to go, so he is not casting. My throat is absolutely dying. I did not have a chance to get water. I do really apologize, but I'm going to grab some. I'll be back in like 10 seconds.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Alright, sorry about that, guys, but I'm back in the game, and don't worry, you didn't miss anything. So, let's go ahead and introduce our players. For Navi, we have ars-art on that hard support AA. 4 branches and observer ward, 0 consumables from him. I believe he also bought the courier. That's going to be Havos playing that Chaos Knight. Looks like they might do some sort of offensive dual lane, maybe even a... I guess a puppey could offensive jungle too if they want, but we'll have to see. Light of Heaven looks to be laning though. Whether he'll go... I guess he'll probably go top and Dendi mid, but Light of Heaven playing that Prophet. Dendi playing the Invoker. Puppey with the Observer Wards. 4 Observer Wards up for Navi. And they're going to have pretty good vision here. They're worried about Kebap's early ganks. They're worried about that early aggression. Navi, the name of the game is get levels, don't force too many fights early. Get to your mid game in a good shape, and that's where you get aggressive. For mTw, Kebap playing the Chen. Smoke as well as Sentry Wards already picked up. Funzii playing the Darkseer. Shadow Demon again, synderen playing that hard support, observer wards for him, and he'll be probably dual laning here with sockshka. Sockshka playing the Panda, and finally it is fckingmad, 100 gold in the bank, probably saving for a bottle here. We'll be playing the Leshrac. And mTw a little bit worried about the Roshan attempt, and this is a lineup that could look to do it for Navi, but they're not going to. I mean, with a Prophet and an Enigma, anything is possible. You could definitely... I mean, it's not an easy Roshan, it's not a quick one, but I think you can pull it off. Well, it has been a day, that's for sure. Hopefully the players have some fun. I know I'll be doing my best to have some as well. Puppey, looks like he'll be defensive jungling in the end. They're a little bit... Oh, it's okay, it's going to be synderen and fckingmad dual lane, it's going to be a Panda soloing. Interesting choice here. Now, Panda is pretty good even against a hero like Prophet. That high base armor, the great HP. But look at what Prophet's doing. It's tree pulling shenanigans here. Likely going to look to loop around. These are going to die soon. No, he's just going to pull the lane back. But there's nothing to push it out. Now, what's going to happen here is these... This is an interesting way to do it, but now we're going to have a double wave, which means it's really going to push. I actually think that's a pretty good choice. Oh, ars-art taking some big damage from that Ion Shell, but he should be okay. And I'm not sure if this lane has enough disable to actually kill Funzii. Even if he tries to get aggressive, go last hit, he's got the Ion Shell. I mean, as good as the Cold Feet Reality Rift Chaos Bolt combination can be, there's only one actual reliable disable in there. And if Funzii times that search properly, he should be able to get away. So he'll have a pretty good time. Dendi as well, going for the Quas early on. We've seen him do this and then go back for Exhort. We've also, once in a while, we'll see him go for Wex, but it's definitely not his favorite way to play. Look at Light of Heaven, big damage on the bottom lane. Once they use that stop, he could TP out. No, he's only level 1. Light of Heaven is trapped. He looks to be dead. This is going to be a First Blood. First Blood play. No, he buys the TP scroll and he gets away. Wow, huge plays by Light of Heaven there. Looks like he would go down for sure, but manages to buy that TP and eat his way into the trees. TP's out successfully. Still, a taste of things to come, perhaps. Dendi rotates down bottom. I'm not sure why he's here. I guess they just feel Light of Heaven can't deal with this lane. Interesting. Well, it's Funzii up top, who's also maybe in some trouble. Puppey comes in. Only a level 1 Malefice. Nonetheless, could look to set something up. Nope, not going to. That's how they're going to be able to kill Funzii. If he's to go down, it will be with that Enigma coming in, adding that extra stun into the mix. That's your additional lockdown that you need to deal with a hero like Darkseer. Well, Light of Heaven heads to the jungle. I mean, this is something that you can do. It's interesting that the middle lane is the one they leave empty. This is the lane where Leshrac is, so generally, that's not a lane you want to abandon. If anything, I would abandon the lane with the Panda. That's where the big push is going to come from early, is that middle lane, not the bottom. Especially if Kebap shows up. If he shows up, mTw can look to take an early tier 1. For the moment, they have not done so. And Light of Heaven getting the levels, starting to get a little bit of farm going his way. He's got a rid of Basilius available on that Sage's Mask. And you got to keep in mind, Dendi is playing in the dark here. He doesn't have vision. I don't even think there was a ward here. Maybe there was, but it got de-warded if there was. So Dendi played in the dark. Really has to position himself to be able to spot the Enchantress coming in. And that's what we see from now. As though top lane, funzii gets caught out. There you go, great body. Pretty good body blocking. It's enough. First blood, gonna go the way of Navi. Played by Havos. And in comes the TP by Prophet. Nope, that gets cancelled. So Dendi heads bottom. Light of Heaven maybe gonna think about staying mid. Not for the moment. Big farm for the two sort of core farmers on mTw. We have the Shrek as well as the Panda leading the charts, but look at Navi close behind with the Chaos Knight, the Enigma, 16 and 16 for them in terms of their last hit, so they're not doing too bad. Sockshka, early bottle picked up. 500 gold, he's got the boots as well. And then his stacking ancients. They don't really have anybody to kill these, but he's also going to check the rune, be very efficient with his time here. You stack the ancients, then you run to check the rune. Now he's going to go back mid, Invis is top. Who's going to get there first? Synderen's got that disruption, Puppey's got the mouth. Synderen's going to grab it. Cheeky play. Even with the ward here, Navi just not going to engage on that. And now he comes around for Dendi. Dendi will be forced back, has to play this one very defensively. I mean, such a passive start to the game after the non-stop action. If you missed the second game of the series, or I guess that's technically, yeah, that is the second game of the series, then go check that one out after this, because, my god, there were 4 or 5 towers down in the first 10 minutes. This game, no towers even be damaged, despite there being a Shrek, a Chen, a Prophet, and an Enigma. So many great pushers here, but just no aggression. Both teams content to farm, content to get the early levels. fckingmad with early phase boots up. This will be very helpful against the Navi's lineup. Between Malefice, as well as the Cold Staff, even the Reality Rift, the Chaos Bolt. You really don't want to get caught out and locked down, especially with that the Cold Feet available as well. Still, fckingmad is squishy enough. If any of those spells catch him, there may be enough follow-up lockdown just to bring him down instantly. Good play by Puppey here. He's going to convert that creep that has the Iron Shell on it. And now they go for the push. Ars-art taking some tower shots. Really needs to remove that tower aggro. Ars-art. Okay, there we go. Get me a little nervous here if I'm a Navi fan.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Puppey comes in. Malefice. Reality Rift. Cold Feet. 3 seconds stun. funzii gets caught out. funzii gets brought down. No! Disruption. Cold Feet will... Nope. Timed perfectly. Not going to proc, and he's going to get away. In fact... Oh, sorry, he did go down in the end, but he almost got away. In comes the TP by fckingmad. Going on to Puppey. Tower destroyed by Enigma. Triple kill for Synderen on the Shadow Demon. 1,300 gold. Well, Navi get themselves a tower, but talk about an expensive tower there.
Haste.
Sockshka, Arcane Boots already up. Not going to look for the Blink Dagger Rush. And with a bottle and Arcane Boots, he really can spam that clap. Lots of regen to work with. Middle lane, though, fckingmad gets caught out. Hasten on Dendi and the Sprout. The right click's pretty strong. Will it be enough? fckingmad runs back in. Tornado. He's going to turn this one around. No, Split Earth. That was a very optimistic Split Earth by fckingmad. Not going to find Dendi in the end, although he certainly gave it his best shot. Well, Sockshka pressuring that bottom lane. And this is the thing about Panda, he's a good pusher, he's not a fantastic one. So yeah, you get some creeps killed, you do some right click damage, you drop the tower down to half, but you're not killing it. There's no edict being applied to that tower. And fckingmad goes with a Void Stone. Huh. Normally we see Leshrax opt for maybe the Bracer, the early point booster, just look to tank up. We'll have to see what direction he wants to go. Will this be something like a quick Bloodstone? Will he go for a Yule Scepter? There's a couple of options to consider. I mean, Sight Device is very unlikely, although that's something we often see with Voidstone. This early, it's such an expensive item. Instead, they push mid. And this is that point in the game where mTw, they have level 5 on Chen. No ultimate just yet, but they got multiple creeps. Skeleton army gonna be molly with the tower. These skeletons do a lot of damage, although they are very squishy. Edict as well, good timing there on the glyph. Puppey looking for that. Oh, no, Surgeon trapped as well. Ion Shell doing damage. Purge, Puppey melts. Puppey will go down. Double net applied. Big pickup there, and now Sockshka working on the tower. And while this is happening, Chaos Knight pressuring that top lane. Dendi doing the same down bottom. Just try to go for the trades on the part of Navi. Especially without the Enigma, just committing to a fight, you really need that black hole, especially against the Panda Ultimate. And I gotta say, Dendi is way behind in terms of levels compared to his previous game. It goes back to the fact that he rotated bottom, he wasn't farming, then he fixed the rune, rotates around mid again. He's been all over the place this game, and in comes Sockshka. No phase boots for him, not gonna be the best at chasing. Light of Heaven, Hand of Midas on the way. I think it's on the courier. Light of Heaven still running, 20 seconds to go. They're going to let him get away. And in fact, the courier gets some pings onto it. No chase forthcoming just yet. I mean, the farm's still very even. Pretty decent lead for Navi here. They have the... Oh, Light of Heaven runs back in. Did he want to try and backstab the tower? He could have TP'd out. He's going to get caught and brought down. Maybe the fatigue is kicking in. Navi's been playing for a while today. Oh, they get funzii. Cold snap, 2-second stun. Funzii will go down again. And boy, oh boy. I actually said Darkseer wouldn't die that much this game. I mean, I still feel without the Enigma ganks, he would have had a better shot, but these stuns perfectly timed. Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt, Cold Feet, too much lockdown for even a Darkseer to deal with. And here's Navi, gonna go try and go for the trade. The tower already drops mid. Tornado flies through. No EMP just yet. He's only level 6, he is really behind. I mean, normally at this point a solo invoker will be at least 7, maybe even 8. Look at fckingmad, 7, working towards 8, even Kebap is 6. Sockshka still has not dropped that Panda ult. By the way, his Blink Dagger not far off if he wants to go for it. So much regen, and there you go. Max Edict onto the tower. No glyph, this is going to be a tier 2. What's the trade for Navi? They got the tier 1 mid. Are they going to be able to push a tier 2? It doesn't look like it. So, tower last hit by Kebap, and that means Mechanism's not far off. Yep, chainmail up, buckler up. Very, very close. In fact, he may have it now. Well, he needs to complete the headdress. That's the one thing that's lacking. So, gotta complete the headdress and get that recipe for the mech. He's gonna have it within the next 2-3 minutes. And a mech this early could be very effective unless ars-art gets the big Ancient Apparition ults. That's where your mech is not going to do much for you, and that's why I believe that's why they went for the AA. It also combos real well with the Chaos Knight, but so do lots of other heroes like Alina, or I mean they could have even laden with Shrek with him. But the big thing that AA gets you is an answer to that mech, that Hand of God early on. Oh, fckingmad, he wants the tower. He's not going to find it. Funzii gets sent back. Will not be hit. Nobody gets hit for mTw. Navi have committed a lot to this fight. Synderen charges back in. I guess he just wants to give himself away. Purge on the AA. Disruption as well. 3-second stun. This fight is all over the place. In the back lines, the Panda ult has been used for a while now. Panda doing some big damage. AA will take a fall. Habos gets sprouted up. He's going to take a lot of damage. Habos should go down too. He will. mTw on the back of that first ultimate. They get 2 kills. And are they done yet? Tier 2 was it denied? No, the Radiant got it. Maybe that was the Brewmaster Ancients doing the work there. mTw's looking very good. Wow. This was quite a close game. I mean, only 2,000 gold. Especially when you factor in towers. But now we're looking at over 5k, over 2k experience. And that means the big items start coming out. For Shrek, got himself a Bracer. Maybe we're going to see the drums. Maybe just a Bracer back into a point booster. Kebap, we talked about it. The Mechanism about to be up. Blink Dagger and Sockshka. All the big early utility items, the survivability items, even the Hood of Defiance. Don't forget, funzii is... How bad is he doing this game? I mean, in terms of score, 0-3. Tower goes down. mTw, just really... The map control, the early game dominance. It seems like Navi is just playing... Not having the answers right now. Still no Midas and Light of Heaven. I thought it was on the courier, but he actually never had it. These early deaths, I mean, getting a Midas this late, it can work. But you need somewhere to farm, and where is that place going to be? Sockshka gets caught out. Cold Feet start defensive disruption. Don't think it was timed just right. It is! Cold Feet not getting hit, but there's your black hole. Couple of heroes pulled into that. Gonna do a bunch of damage. Synderen, EMP hitting a bunch. Synderen dropping low. Once Puppey, 3-second stun. Tornado on 3. Great play here by dendi and this team fight. Synderen probably going to drop. Synderen's still alive remarkably. There's your smoke even. Misclick, I believe, but they get... Oh man, they get him there, trying to maybe just join a projectile now, but net out on the dendi. Dendi out of mana, out of options here. Cannot use those 20 spells we saw him use so successfully before. Funzii backing back in. Where's the Ion Shell? Not in range. Surge on in. Once Puppey is going to find him, and meanwhile Shrek actually takes a fall. Dies to the Eidolons. While that's happening, Funzii goes for the TP out. Dendi just no mana. Couldn't Tornado. Couldn't invoke Cold Snap. Even the EMP was not available. Oh boy, that was a fight where there was no Panda ult, and there was a decent... Well, actually it wasn't a great black hole. Only hit once. Still, they had the black hole. Are they even done yet? No, Kebap! Kebap gets away. And now the Skeleton Army... In fact, even Chen dies. That must have been the ancient version. Get sniped. No, that was a Sunstrike by Dendi. Snipes him at base. Sorry I'm missing these kills, guys. I will try my best to do better. I will say it's been a long day in my defense. But you do get the idea. Dendi with a big Sunstrike there at the fountain. And that's the thing about Navi, is even if you're at your fountain, you're not necessarily safe there. Between the Sunstrike, as well as the A ulti, they have a couple ways to try and pick you up. Oh, Havost. This is not where you want to be, my friend. Goes to work on Funzii. Little does he know Synderen is here to dispense some disruption, as well as the Soul Catcher and the Purge. Chaos Knight in a lot of trouble. Vacuum back in. Synderen will be the first one to fall. There's your wand on Havost. Chasing, giving chase to Funzii, who jukes into the trees. Surge cooling down. 5 seconds to go. Wants to go back up. Funzii gets trapped. He gets caught out. He will take a spill as well. And Sockshka has the Blink Dagger, has the Panda ult off cooldown, but just not going to go for it. So Navi, they were down a bit, but they strike back, and now we see that gold graph start to dip. The experience takes a big dive. And things are looking a lot better for them. Double drums up. Chaos Knight going for the armlet. Midas finally up on Light of Heaven, and he really needs it, not even for the gold, just to catch up in levels at this point. Even going for a Rope of the Magi. Could be Power Treads, could maybe be an Orchid. I'm guessing Power Treads, but either one is certainly an option. Navi get a couple kills, and that is the thing about this lineup. Dendi going for the Wex build, it gives them such good initiation now. Malefice, Reality Rift, the Chaos Bolt, the Tornado, the Cold Snap. Even the Sprout can serve as a form of initiation, just to hold someone in place for a few seconds. mTw gonna run right by a Dire Ward. Are we gonna see a blind blink in? Arsart TP's out. Right to the tower, in fact. That TP was almost close enough for Sockshka to dive him, but a Panda ult just for an A, probably not the best trade. So instead, they're gonna group up, go for the push here. Again, how do you push into these guys? EMP, Tornado, A ultimate, the blink, or excuse me, not the blink, but the black hole cooling down, the conversions. I mean, it's just really hard to actually get that momentum, that brute force to knock the tower down. This is where mTw, they're used to having the Tinker, they're used to having the Lone Druid. These are heroes that just drive your opponent back off the tower. They really don't have it right now. They have some great AoE, some great team fight, but they don't have heroes that can just immediately force you back. The one that can do it is Sockshka. Oh, there goes the Phantasm. mTw are wisely going to back off. I don't think that was spotted, but now they certainly know what's happening. In comes the chase. Shockwave going to do some damage here. Oh, Tornado! mTw does not fully turn around, but Navi not going to engage. Here we go, the pressure on the bottom lane. Light of Heaven doing what Light of Heaven does. No matter how far behind he is, no matter how this guy is doing in the game, he will always be looking for that split push, looking to force TPs back. Just so, I mean, it's his style, it really is, and that's where you would love. I mean, we saw last game he couldn't do it, he couldn't execute that way. Because there was a Storm, a Tinker, a Prophet on the mTw side. So much global presence, so many ways to pick him off and punish him. But there's nothing in this game like that. There's no global presence. There's no big long-range gank initiation. Just the Blink Brewmaster ult. Edict onto the tower. They finally get a tier 2. Light of Heaven's not going to back until they TP out. He's still pushing. And now they are forced to run away. TP out by Sockshka.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And that's the goal for Navi, just buy time right now. Look to get, well, Armlet actually up already. So Havost, Armlet, Drums, Treads. Pretty decent farm for him, to be totally honest. 77 CS. Dendi is struggling a bit, only Drums and Phase Boots, no early Force Staff, no early Blink Dagger. But with the Wex build, you don't need those quite as badly. Enigma has the mech, and that's going to be Puppey working towards a BKB. And BKB in this game will answer pretty much everything mTw can throw their way. Although you can't actually hold the Panda ultimate in play. Oh, Cold Feet. As well as the Malphus. They want sockshka. Black Hole too. They're gonna get him. And he's got the buyback, but I mean, you really don't want to be buying back right now. Still, it's a Black Hole forced. When Panda respawns, they have a couple minutes to try and make something happen, but if there's an Aegis up on Navi, that's going to make life a lot more difficult. Mech is used. Chaos Knight's starting to do the crits here. Armlet not activated just yet, but could look to do it at any point. In comes the massive army of summons. Kebap spotted out in the enemy jungle. Navi know that he's there, so they know this is relatively safe. Synderen wants to scout. He's not really going to find the opening. In comes the Shadow Poison Vacuum in. They're not actually going to go for it. Looks like he wanted to vacuum onto the high ground there in the part of funzii. In comes Dendi, looking to go the other way. I hear TP, I hear Sprout, and it's funzii gets caught out. A ultimate, flying through, funzii. Oh, 3 seconds to go, Tornado, EMP, Malphus. Oh, funzii. Too many nukes to a chasing. He's still alive! funzii's still alive, he's doing it, and Puppey, no black hole for him. 2 kills, gonna go back the way of mTw here, I believe. In fact, they might even get 3. That's an Aegis blown. Arsart taking some big damage. Puppey's still alive. One more boulder toss. Oh, they really need to kill Puppey here. Are they going to find him? They do get Chaos Knight twice. That's a big kill. So Aegis down and 1 kill. They don't actually get Puppey in the end. He's able to TP out. Oh, that's unfortunate for mTw. And then goes Light of Heaven. Immediately the pressure commences on the bottom lane. He is just not going to let them push. So, I mean, what is the next step for mTw? What sort of items are really going to propel them into this mid-game? I mean, we see a Darkseer with a pipe. We saw Mousesports back in the International 2 qualifiers. It was often 1437 playing that Darkseer, and he would go for a Blink Dagger. And I actually feel like that's something that might help here for mTw. They just don't have anyone to carry like a damage item. Panda not really going to be useful because it relies on that ultimate form in team fights. They just don't have a right click. You can try and use your Bloodstone, maybe eventually your BKB to tank up, do some AoE, but once these BKBs are up, there's just not going to be an answer for it. So if you're worried about those BKBs and you're not going to get right click damage, your only other option is either to kind of survive, wait out the BKBs, or the more likely choice. Try and get the jump. Don't let them drop them. And a blink into a vacuum, into a panda ult, into a split earth. That would be some fantastic initiation. So that's something I think might be an option here for mTw. Not sure we're going to see it. I mean, more likely it'll just be some upgraded boots, maybe looking towards the Shivas or an Aghanim, but it's certainly an option. Light of Heaven. Pain's coming out. Sockshka wants to go. Massive tree and army here. Dendi's got something on the way, and it's a 4-staff. More mobility for Dendi, who's got a lot to work with. Almost maxed out the Wex at this point. Navi overall are really doing an admirable job of getting that farm on, not losing too many outer towers. I mean, to be down 7k gold against such a strong early game lineup, that's a massive, massive lead. I really can't overstate it. But they held on, they forced some mistakes from mTw, and now they're right back in this game. mTw can still win, but they are very reliant on a big team fight, and that's why we see this smoke gank. fckingmad gonna look to go high ground here. I say high ground, phase boots are used. Dendi gets caught out, blinking by sockshka. Clap is not going to hit. 4 seconds stun, the vacuum in, the pen, oh, the wall! Darkseer to get a lot of damage. Excuse me, Light of Heaven I should say, but he's still alive. Dendi as well just running away. Navi is just hiding. Synderen will be the first one to go down here. Will he be the last? I don't think so. Black hole immediately canceled, thrown up in the air. Puppey, you cannot black hole those Panda Ancients. Clap to follow. Puppey gets caught out. The mechanism and the BKB. How does he... Oh, he does have a BKB. Okay, so he holds on to that. He's going to survive for now. In comes fckingmad. Still only 1 for 1, but Havos for a Shadow Demon. That's not a bad trade. Are they done yet, though? Sprout in on fckingmad. Splitter to follow. Big damage. There's your crit. Who needs... I mean, who am I kidding? You don't actually need damage items when you have this Panda. So, the good news is mTw win a team fight. They get 2 kills. They kill Havos. They kill the Prophet. Here's the bad news. They don't get anything else off of this. There's no Roshan. The middle, top lane's pushing in, the middle lane's pushing as well. Even if they want to run bottom and try and threaten the base, by the time they do it, it's going to be too late. And it is an expensive fight. They're forced to use a Darkseer ult, they're forced to use a Brewmaster ult. Certainly a good engagement for mTw. You got to be happy about holding down the Boast, holding down Light of Heaven. But this is not a fight where you're like, okay, we're on track to just win this game outright. They need more. And I think we're starting to see how Navi are going to look to engage here. Just kite. Use the 4-step, use the Wex, the Tornado, the EMP. Sockshka runs in with the haste. Tornado will remove this. Dendi is not going to throw one out. For anyone who doesn't know, Tornado will remove runes off of you, whether it's a DD, a haste rune. So Sockshka cannot really be as aggressive as maybe he thinks he can here. He's got to be careful. He does have backup in the form of Synderen. Courier comes into funzii, delivers a vitality booster, and here we go. Smoke gank the other way. Oh, the Courier could be the prize. Do they want it? They are going to go for it in the end. 2 right clicks. Will it live? I think they're a little bit late here. Meanwhile, Sockshka gets caught out, taking some big damage. 40 seconds to go on that ultimate. Demonic Purge on the ars-art. Kebap gets caught as well by the Icy Vortex. So being slowed down, but nobody died. Puppey with the big backstep has the black hole. Definitely blast. Or sorry, doesn't have the black hole, has the BKB. I mean, fckingmad taking some damage here. No BKB. Chen heal. Mechanism as well, keeping fckingmad alive. And Havos just not being able to burst anyone down. Soul Catcher on the Light of Heaven. fckingmad. Vacuum it on 4. Great vacuum. And the Split Earth on 2. Wow, what a team fight from mTw. Who needs that pin ult when you plays like this? They get the Enigma, the Surge from funzii, chasing onto Havos. Pink's going out a little bit all over the place. Tornado comes in, only hitting on 1, and Havos can look for the stun, gets a 4-second stun. Havos is clearly, oh, Edict, looking for Havos. Havos has clearly been doing well at the lottery lately. In the end, fckingmad kills him. That was a team fight 1 where Navi had the initiation, had the positioning. And I go back to the Enigma's choice to go after the Courier. It's a decision where, as good as a Courier kill is, you don't have any outer towers. You don't have an Aegis. If you lose a team fight, you may lose Rax. So it's a bold, risky maneuver. That gold is not going to help you if you're behind by Rax this early. And, well, Puppey went for it, didn't pan out. Glyph is available. That will stall this push out. Black hole coming off cooldown. mTw may be forced back here. They do have a Panda ult, but with that BKB, you can hold down the black hole. Cannot be disabled through it. EMP Tornado, they want fckingmad. He's sent back. He should be just fine. ult even comes in, not going to be in time. Dendi joins the fight as well. But they force everybody from Navi to give chase, defend that bottom lane. They back off. They don't take casualties. Again, although mTw... Oh, they won. Kebap. Dendi! Dendi, this is a very aggressive dive by him. No, he's going to back off. Excuse me. In fact, he's even going to TP out. So, it does seem like mTw getting a little bit of the advantage here in the fights, but here's the thing. What do they actually turn it into? The last 2 fights, they've won them, but they're not actually pushing into the base. They're not getting an Aegis. And that's normally how teams win Dota, especially when you don't have that late game lineup, you don't have the hard carry. You win by securing map control, and that's why we see mTw with the constant aggression, the smoke gank coming in, Synderen leading the way. Oh, they want to go mid. Well, Shrek waiting in the wanes, looking for arsart. Arsart will get caught out. EMP, vacuum back in. fckingmad doing the big damage. They will get the pick, but arsart has buyback. Pipe used as well, just to try and prevent that icy blast damage. And I still don't think mTw can go high ground, but they continue to get the picks. Force a buyback, always going to be worth it. As long as you're not giving up a Rex or anything like that, which they're not. So arsart fights back. mTw maybe just going to look to back off. fckingmad in the front lines. By the way, did not mention it before, but BKB is up on him. Phantasm is used. I just heard in the back lines. Oh, it's fckingmad he wants. And ult drop. Vacuum in. Puppey fishing for a black hole. Cannot find the black hole. Puppey just can't find the opening. And there's the demonic purge. Locking Puppey in place. The Fire Panda right click him. Gets 2 anyway. Gets 2. And all the stun goes off. Split Earth coming out, but fckingmad drops slow. Goes on to Havos, or Havos goes on to Synderen now. fckingmad throws Synderen up in the air. Sorry, not Synderen. That would be Dendi. What am I talking about? Dendi looking to run away here. Sockshka, this looks like a decent fight here for mTw. They get 2. Can they get a 3rd? It doesn't necessarily look like it. Dendi's going in. He wants fckingmad. And fckingmad lives. He lives with about 20 health. There aren't many players who try and fight that 1v3, but Dendi is certainly one. I mean, after the past couple days. This guy is possibly one of the most aggressive players in the world of Dota right now. No matter the odds, Dendi is going to try and push the issue, stretch the limits, test your boundaries. Well, a Panda ult for an Enigma ult. So 90 seconds on that Panda ult, 140 on the Enigma. So If mTw won, they also forced out the glyph earlier. If they actually want, they could wait for that panda ult to cool down, and then immediately group up mid, or be grouped up and ready to go, and then try and force a fight before the glyph is up, before the black hole is up. And that might be the option here. That might be the way they want to play this. I mean, we're starting to get to that point where I just don't know how much later you can go. We've seen Synderen be very effective at shutting down Chaos Knight. Big pickup coming out for mTw. Aghanim Scepter on the Panda. It does feel like if Navi can hold just a few more minutes, they're going to have the items they need. And they have that better late game. I mean, they haven't shown it yet, but at some point Panda does fall off. Darkseer always going to scale well with his opponents. But there's no damage dealer aside from the Sockshka, and a BKB up on whether it's Dendi or Havost. Once they get a second or third BKB, maybe even the Scythe of Vice and Light of Heaven, I do feel Navi will have the edge in terms of the right-click damage, the late-game potential, and clearly mTw agree, because they're going for their third smoke gank, and I want to say the past 5, maybe 10 minutes. Will Sockshka blink in? He's got to blink in. He actually had an invis rune, so he will not be revealed. Dendi gets caught out. Will he be able to live? BKB used by fckingmad. Dendi, no buyback for him. He goes down. That was a streak ended as well. Light of Heaven TP's away, and now mTw head into the Roshan pit. No Dendi here. Probably their biggest initiator teamfight controller. And mTw going to get the Aegis. The question is, who does it go to? Most likely fckingmad. AO flies in. Black hole fully down. 30 seconds on that. Pipe is used. And, I mean, Roshan is dropping. He's not dropping really fast, but I think it will be enough. Navi are not going to fight this. They're going to take this time, get the farm up, work towards the BKB on the Chaos Knight. Any other big items for them? I mean, we've seen Puppey. Oh, now he's got the blink. Mechanism, BKB, blink as well, and there you go. The Shrek with an Aegis. So, this is where fckingmad becomes a real problem. 14 Bloodstone charges. He's been having a good game, but that is an outrageously good game. 4, 1, and 10. And that means he's essentially got 2 extra lives, because he dies once, he comes back immediately in the fight with the Aegis. He dies again. He respawns in, let's see, 40 plus 16. He respawns 56 seconds sooner than he otherwise would, which, I mean, up until the very late game, that's pretty much an instant respawn. Big items all around. Tornado onto Kebap, and by the way, he's got an Aghanim. If they want to go high ground against Navi real soon, this is probably the best item they can get. Honestly, I feel like the best thing that Kebap could do is maybe just stand around here, really far back, and just constantly spam that heal every 30 seconds. Maybe even just send the Panda ultimate in, right-click at the Rex, or excuse me, right-click at the tier 3. You know, have Shrek in the front lines, maybe as a BKB charge to do a bunch of edict damage. Of course, you would like Kebap to be in position to drop the mech, to use the Holy Persuasion. But that 30-second cooldown on the Aghanims, that's the big game changer here. Blink in, Malefice to start, they want Kebap, and Kebap stunned in place, lockdown, pulled in, gets nothing off, no heals, and no buyback, because he just bought the Aghanims. Navi are going to push the issue now. They're grouped up mid, going for the push. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is just damn unfortunate if you're on the side of mTw. Of all the times to be picked, right after you buy that Blade of Alacrity. I hear a Surge, but I don't see initiation, so I guess they're not actually going for it. Dendi's got great position here on the high ground. Can see Sockshka, and he's going to spot him out. Cold Snap to start, just some harassment. Keep your eyes on Puppey, guys. Malefice as well. Reaver up on funzii. Funzii going just for the heart. Does not want to be focused down. I mean, I've been talking about Navi's items. He's getting some very big items of his own. The thing about Darkseer is, though, I feel like funzii's probably going to get his combo off anyway, and then what does he really do after that? I mean, he's tanky, you can spam Surge, you can spam Ion Shell, maybe get 2 or 3 vacuums off in a fight. That's great, that's nice. But this is not a Morphling who's getting a heart, this is not a Chaos Knight who's getting a heart, where it gives him a bunch of survivability and damage on a hero that does that damage. Darkseer is a utility hero, so it's great, it's a great pickup. It'll help make sure funzii's alive in these fights. Maybe even sustain the push. But this is not a tier 4 item on a hero that really benefits from them. And it's clear that mTw know they need to end soon. This just can't go longer. I think this is Havost, only about 700 gold away from the BKB. They breach high ground, the tower's dropping low, Tornado comes in, hits absolutely nothing, EFP vacuum back in. And in the back lines, oh, disruption. Synderen taking some damage. There's your Hand of God. Aeol gonna fly through. Hits perfectly, and Puppey with the black hole. Not actually canceled by Panda. He can't because of that BKB. 2 heroes picked off, but fckingmad still alive, still has the Aegis as well. mTw are doing it. They're winning this fight from the looks of things. They're at least hanging on for dear life. A drops low, not going to go down. Dendi taking some big damage. Dendi will fall. No buyback on him. He doesn't have it. It's on cooldown anyway. Arsart may die as well. One more boulder toss. He goes down. mTw are winning this fight handily. And with those kills, no buyback on the Chaos Knight. No buyback on the Invoker. And no buyback on the Ancient Apparition. This is going to mean at least 1 lane of Rex, possibly 2. Well, here's the glyph. Still 20 seconds to go. There's no Roshan, so if all they get is 1 lane of Rex, Navi still have a good shot at coming back. It will be playing from a deficit, but they have a good shot. If they lose 2 Rex, though, that's where things get virtually impossible. Hand of God flies out, and that's the 30-second cooldown available for them to work with. Are they going to continue the fight? Puppey, a little harassment, blinks on back. No, they're only going to get 1 Rex. So mTw, they're not going to be greedy. They get a lane of Rex, then they back off. And this will be a constant nuisance. But, that being said, Navi has some good anti-push. They have the Enigma, they have the Ancient Apparition Ultimate, and the Prophet ult as well. So, Navi can deal with this 1 lane. What they can't deal with is 2 or even 3 lanes. And here we go, Synderen. Big plays potentially incoming from him. Great blink out by Puppey. Very quick reaction. fckingmad could have maybe made a go there. By the way, fckingmad with a Mystic Staff up. I'm not sure. Will this be a Shiva's? Will it be a Scythe Device? Scythe Device will give you extra lockdown to help burst down some of these heroes like Invoker, Prophet. Look at the channel. So spammable now. But of course the Shivas will really help you deal with the right-click damage of the Chaos Knight. Speaking of which, Pavost very close. Mithril Hammer, Ogre Club, and mTw. They don't want to let him get that item. They don't want anybody on Navi to get bigger. EMP Tornado, but it's just not enough at this point. Funzii doesn't really care too much. fckingmad breaches high ground. Malphus onto him. Scythe Device completed. Whoa! fckingmad is effing farmed. That's really the only way to describe it. Pavost TP's back. Prophet could look to go pressure top instead. Especially if he gets an early TP scroll picked up. And, well, they spot Pavost. Not going to go on him, but thinking about it. Heart up on Funzii. I mean, these may be the items that... Oh, blink away by Puppey. The pipe is forced. And I heard a Scythe, but we're going to watch Pavost here, who wants Kebap. Mechanism. Hand of God is available. Disrupted. Should get it off. He will. And now Pavost taking the big damage. No BKB on him. He gets melted up. He gets brought down. And now it's Light of Heaven. Boulder toss onto him. mTw on the verge of claiming this series. Oh, it's so close. It's hard to call just yet. But Dendi tried to hold him in place. There's your cold feet, slowing down the push. Funzii, another vacuum on 2. Remember, there's still an Aegis here. Boulder toss comes out and sent back. They don't want fckingmad to die. Blink in, black hole on 3. Chen could maybe send 1 more back soon. 10 seconds to go. Tornado, EMP. Sockshka taking a lot of damage. Funzii too. Sockshka may yet live, or Funzii may as well, because he's got the surge. There's your drunken haste. Vacuum into the wall onto 3. Sockshka wants back in. He's going to go for it. Clap on a Light of Heaven. No, the Scythe of Vice. And Leshrac rejoins the fight. Bought up Boots of Travel. Sold something to do it. But this means no black hole. Puppey's going to go down. Blink in the clap. mTw. They are the kryptonite to Navi Superman. They win this match. They take the series 3-0. 1-0 advantage from the winner's bracket. Navi calls the GG. And then mTw, you could even argue this was a 4-0 victory. They were way ahead in that first game. Then a remake was forced. This is that remake. The players had some sort of a joke and agreement about the money going the way of Navi. But in the end, mTw, they take it. And boy, do they look good now. This is better than the million. I don't know about that. Synderen maybe having a little bit of a laugh. A little bit of a troll here. Wow. All I can say is wow. I mean, mTw, how many teams can say that they have beaten Navi more than Navi has beaten them in the past couple of months? Navi has had some slip-ups. They haven't looked as strong as they were in previous months, but let's not forget, this is the team that won the International 1, 2 Star Ladders in a row, and plays very well, won the Premier League twice, but Navi finally dethroned. It's the first Premier League event going to another team. This time going to mTw, so they're your Grand Finals champions. They take the big prize here. $1,000 in their pockets. That's going to do it for today's casting, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. If you enjoy my casting, if you want to support me, check me out on facebook.com/LDdota, twitter.com/LDdota, or youtube.com/LDdota.